Hey friends, this is Courtney. It is Wednesday, and I'm so excited that you are here with me tonight. Listen, coming on just a few minutes late, and I had to make a quick little chat to my dear friend Roderick. Most of you guys know him, and so he just helped me fix all the cameras. So thank you. Big shout out to Roderick, guys. Thank you for being here. My name is Cortney Kane Sides. I am your psychic medium, psychic artist, your spiritual advisor, and we tonight are talking about monitoring spirits. So let me ask you real quick. Do you have people in your life that are there when things are bad? Do you have people in your life who watch all your stories or checking all the things, but then they ghost you when beautiful things happen? If so, guys, tune in tonight. I want you to dive into this amazing topic with me, and I cannot wait to connect with you guys. So do me a favor, everybody take a good deep breath in, big exhale out. Let's call on those guides and angels for this amazing discussion. So guides and angels on our right, guides and angels on our left, guides and angels in front, and guides and angels in back to balance and harmonize our time here, leaving us in the light and allowing nothing but the highest, truest, or the best to manifest upon me now. Now listen. I want you all to do me a quick favor. I want you tonight to make sure that you're following and subscribing to my own personal YouTube page. It's Cosmically Connected with Cortney Kane Sides. All right. Hi, guys. And do me another favor, if you will. Let me know where you're watching from, right? Somebody just said hello from New York. Hi, my friend. Nurture by Nature. You were here last week. I remember you. So thank you for coming back and being with me every week. It means everything. Pura Vida says, I'm overwhelmed. I'm getting major downloads about the Hopi prophecy and this election. My friend, how many of you guys are overwhelmed? Give me a thumbs up. Say, yes, I'm feeling it, my friends. I've been saying that I've been cocooning. It's been such an interesting couple of weeks. So anybody else feeling that, let me know here. Say, yes, me too. Look, we've got Scotland, North Carolina in the house. We've got Courtney from Oklahoma. Hi, Courtney. We've got Canada. We've got Massachusetts, Arkansas, New Jersey. Everybody's saying, yep, they're feeling it. Connecticut, Canada. Guys, what is so cool is that so many of you are from all over the world. And when we're coming here weekly, we are connecting on so many different topics. So again, guys, tonight we're talking about monitoring spirits. How many of you have been feeling and understanding when a friend, or let's just maybe even say a frenemy, right? Where you're noticing that some people are getting a rise out of when things are going maybe in a difficult way, or when things don't work out in the way that you were hoping for. Why some people get a kick out of that? Well, they could be a monitoring spirit. So guys, let's go ahead, and I want to give you kind of the definition. So to monitor is to observe and to check the progress or quality of something over a period of time. Keep under systematic review, right? Listen to that. Keeping under systematic review, okay? Maintaining regular surveillance over, listen to, and report on, and to watch, okay? How many of you have, when you're posting on social media? We're going to be talking about social media. We're going to be talking about the way that you share your information, your goals, your dreams, the things that are so important to you. And to find out if you're sharing them in places that are, places that are serving you. And real quick, guys, do me a favor. We want more people in here tonight. We want more people to be in here. We want you guys to subscribe to this, share it, hit that like button, and let's get your buddies in here. Let's chat about this tonight. So when you are sharing those dreams, when you're sharing those stories, when you're sharing those posts, and you're having lots of people view those stories. Let's think about it this way. However, some of these people, maybe you've known a lifetime. You may have known some of these energies. And we're talking about monitoring spirits in human form, by the way. Okay. Look, we've got New Zealand in the house. Thank you, New Zealand. Thank you, Dust. I appreciate you being here, my friend. When we have people who do that, now listen, sometimes we're busy. I get it. But sometimes if you're noticing that you're having certain individuals repeatedly that never comment on your stuff, never share, never support, but they're coming around and asking you details about your days, your relationships, your goals, your dreams. But then they're always finding a way to almost turn it around, to remind you of a failure of the past, to remind you of something that you've stubbed your toe on, a relationship that, well, you've done that before. They're kind of taking you down a notch. Often you'll find that those are sometimes those people who are monitoring or watching your every move and not celebrating your wins. I want you guys to just pay a lot of mind to this right now, because there is a lot of that going on. Hi, Judith, my friend. I see you here. Thank you always for the support. Let's talk about that. Those who support and show up for you time and time again. I appreciate you, my friend. Natasha says, I don't share my dreams. Now, listen, we're going to get to things to do to maybe not play into that voyeurism or not play into those monitoring spirits. TNT says, ooh, you just described my ex, whom I recently had to move back in with. So watch that, my friend. So who is the monitoring person? It's a person who causes confusion, delay, failure in your life, even at times. Since they've come around, your life has been filled with what might even feel like demonic attacks, right? Natasha says, ooh, I know, right? I know. And it can be really, really difficult. They can often be the gossiper. So when you come into contact with them, and maybe we've kept them around because we've just simply known them for so long, right? They've been your best friend since 7th grade. They've been the person who was there when life was falling apart, and they always seem to come around when the hardships happen. So we confuse them with them being very empathic. But somehow they ghost you when the most beautiful things happen in your life, when you're celebrating engagements, you're celebrating children, you're celebrating big promotions and growths of businesses, right? Robert says, so what do we do? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you protect your energy around it, physically and even spiritually. Okay. We're going to get there, Robert. So thank you for that, my friend. So that gossiper, that you will hear them come into your life and they'll be like, oh, they might not be gossiping to you, but they will be gossiping about your own stuff, right? There are people even But how are those shared experiences when they're coming to you? Are they talking negatively about the people who they call their friends or the people that they love? Really pay attention to this, my friend, because you will notice a pattern here. And I can tell you, Sania says, sometimes it's your own family. Unfortunately, it is, sometimes it is. And on occasion, some of these monitoring spirits, now they might even change form. So for 10 years, it may be that cousin that you've had an odd love, but odd connection with, right? Or it could be a best friend. And you make boundaries there. Well, then that monitoring spirit may actually kind of embody another person at a different time in your life. So I do believe that sometimes it can take forms in others. It's not always just one person, which is why sometimes it's really important for you to really dig deep and decide and have your own discernment of who and how you're going to participate and who these energies are, right? So take really, really beautiful account of your relationships. So very often, these people will seem very, very nosy. It will feel as though they are really wanting to dig in deep into your life. But very often, they'll almost be the person who warns you of all of the blessings. They will warn you about when you're talking about getting the promotion, they'll say, well, yeah, that's good, but what if all of that? And they will give you the list of negative possibilities that could happen. They won't allow you necessarily to celebrate the beauty, the blessing that's popping into your life. Anthony says every spirit but the Holy Spirit that lives in you is accepted nowadays. Well, I say let's hold on to that Holy Spirit within us, right? We get to decide that connection and how to find and resonate with that Holy Spirit, right? And so if it doesn't feel like that, maybe separate yourself from it. Yes, protect your energy. So let's go into detail. So again, this person might get mad. Also, if you set extreme boundaries with them, they could get extremely angry when you start to withhold information. They will be mad at you because somehow you're distancing your or distancing your goals and your dreams from letting them know. What's interesting is I had a moment today. I was sharing with a friend over the phone about some future ideas and planning and things that I'm quite excited about with my family. And I had a moment's thought of, ooh, I should call this one person. Now, mind you, this podcast was already, decided. It was already out there. We were doing that. But as soon as I was diving into the goals and the dreams and the wants of this possibility with this person over the phone today, I paused and thought, ooh, I was so excited. I thought I should call this other person. I thought maybe they could, really be excited for me. And I stopped for a moment. I looked in front of me and the car tag in front of me said 222. Well, for me, now that might mean something else for you guys, but for me in that moment, it was like, nope, you just shared it in a place of honor, in a place that felt safe. But this other person has not always been able to hold space for you. And so I took a breath in, took a pause, showed gratitude for the awareness that is mine, and took a big, deep breath out. What I know about that breath is it helps me connect back to my, let's call it Holy Spirit within, to my own light, my own energy, my own connection to source, to God, to universe. And I set up that beautiful bubble of protection. That breath is your connection to let's use his word, to the Holy Spirit, right? To that light within you that you carry. And when you're there, you're going to find that you're going to have so much discernment on who is for you versus who is against you. Michelle says, I'm always skeptical, not quick to open up. Right. Let's be, thanks, Link. Who is it? Linked Detest. Thank you. That's right. Subscribe here, my friends. Also, make sure you're subscribing to CourtneyKaneSides.com and actually my own YouTube page, Cosmically Connected with Cortney Kane Sides. I appreciate it here on YouTube. Now, we can be mourning. We can still love this person. If you're finding that it bothers you, if you're finding that, man, they only watch my stories, they're only here and watching, and you can feel it, and it's starting to really build up an angst, something within you, I want you to be brave enough to block an energy. Yes, spiritually and energetically, but also on social media. If when you see them, they do not speak to you, it is okay to block somebody. On my personal Facebook page, if I don't know you, I don't approve. I get lots of people who might, but my business pages there, I am very open there. Of course, my Instagram, TikTok, all the things. Let's all be friends. But I'm very selective about whom I allow on that personal page. And that is because my family, my all of that, I think it's okay for you get to decide on how you share. TNT says, oh, you mean literally block them? I mean spiritually and literally block them, my friend. Why not? This is your energy, right? If you find that you're like, oh, it's driving me nuts, you're a big kid. Do what you need to do. Pray 7. Thank you, my friend. These podcasts are always something that we show up for. I love doing this with you. And there are going to be so many more on my own page. And I cannot wait. And of course, here too on this page. So make sure you're subscribed to all the pages and so that you can stay connected. But I appreciate you. Those donations, I tell you, do keep us going. Thank you. Ben says, that's why you must remove yourself away from people to find yourself. That's right. It's true. And Ben also says, other people list of negativity doesn't matter to you, so don't let anything take your happiness away. And T. Kim says, I got off social media for that reason. Well, if you find, and I've had them in my life, and people I'd known forever, so long that I love them. But what I started to notice was they were only around through the massive losses of my life when there was just major tragedy. And when there was a wedding, and I'm talking my own personal wedding, or my own engagement, or a child being born, or excitement, or business booming and big dreams happening, they were void from my life. Are you seeing that, my friend? If you are, give me an emoji. We're not excited about that. We breathe in, we understand, we take a breath in, and we show up for people in the way that we would want them to show up for us. And it, by the way, it does not mean that we can do it all. I'm not the best, and I'm definitely not perfect. The way that I show up, and if we're talking specifically social media, you might not see I might not be able to post and go like everything every day. But on that one moment when I'm on your page, I'm going to love everything. I'm going to like it up and love it. Not like it, love it all up, because I care and I love you, and I want you to know that I've got your back. I'm supporting you. James says, Cortney, question, how do you block people spiritually? Listen, I have a video on my VIP page and my VIP membership. Guys, go to Cortney. Let me tell you about it, but I'll tell you a little bit about it. I have a video that walks you through this on my VIP, or in my VIP inner circle. It's $11 a month, by the way, and you get half off private sessions. So it's a really cool thing. Go check it out on that website. However, when you know how you're connecting to your own energy, spirit, God, source, and you've got that solidness there within you, you can learn how to build this beautiful bubble. People call it a bubble of light, bubble of protection, call it whatever suits you, my friend. Okay. And so I love it. I do feel that it is extremely important for you to find your own way, right? Bubble up that energy. And when you learn and know, like you know, that you have found your own source God connection, then you can learn how to bubble up that energy. TNT's in that VIP group, right? And also you've seen that video. You've sent me messages and questions about it, haven't you? And so when you learn to do this, and I do this, by the way, I don't really have to sit down and think. Ben is no longer with us. We blocked Ben. So guys, if we're not coming from a beautiful shared space of learning and openness, we're not going to let you stay here. So that's just the way all of us are here on this channel. So thank you, Dr. Strange and Link. I appreciate you. But I want you to know and understand that you get to decide how to protect your energy. And so, yes, we go through that. I can help you learn. But if you have your no-centered space, it's not necessarily going to really help you. You've got to work on your own spiritual connection, your own source connection, you've got to be meditating. You've got to really be taking accountability of your own energy. Okay. And when we do this, by the way, I don't even, again, have to sit down, meditate, really go within and do all the visualizations any longer, because moment by moment with my breath, my bubble is, there's a shield of protection there. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So if there's something that comes into my sphere of awareness, it's because I'm learning a lesson for it, or I'm meant to witness it in a certain way, whether it's for me or for somebody else, right? And so it's just very, very interesting. And so thank you for being here, Wisdom Happy. Happy you fell upon us, my friend. We are here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. So we're talking again about monitoring spirits. And so when you're noticing, by the way, also that you've divulged information, you know how we can sit next to somebody and they're inquisitive, and maybe they're not even a friend of yours, but you sit down with them and maybe they're an acquaintance, and you just feel really vulnerable and open in that moment, and you just start it's like a word vomit, right? You just start chatting and talking and sharing dreams and sharing hopes and talking about things maybe from the past and all of these different things in your life, right? And they leave. But later you start to feel, I want to call it the ick. You start to feel like, wow, you felt almost later, not maybe necessarily in that moment, that later that there was an invasiveness around it. You understand? There was a curiosity that now maybe didn't feel genuine. Those moments, I want you to take a breath in, take a big breath in, surround yourself with that beautiful light of source, universe, God, whatever your faith base is, right? Surround yourself with that bubble and just send that light and awareness, maybe directly into that person's path. And that's it. There could be a monitoring spirit around that person. They could be a voyeur of your experiences in your life. Another thing that sometimes after that happens, those dreams and those hopes that we shared might fall flat. They might start to crumble because we've almost said too much and we shared it with somebody who doesn't hold the same energy for us, the same frequency for us, which is really, really interesting, right? Galvin says, hi, genuine question. If you're next to someone who's giving off really evil devil vibes, trying to waste my time hearing them casting spells under their breath, how would you deal with this? Ooh, take a breath in. Big exhale out. I personally would take a breath in, just like I did, even just reading it, I do it, take a breath in my mind. I ask for nothing but the highest, truest, or the best to manifest upon me now. And if I can physically, treat others the way I would like to be treated. So I'd be, however, and if you feel as though you need to just exit or venture out, I think you need to trust your gut more than anything. Trust that discernment that's coming upon you and move, whether that's to the other side of the room. Take a breath in and put up that shield, that boundary of protection, because in order to do that, you must know, like you know that you have the power to do that, by the way. Okay. To think that they have power over you means that you're giving them room, if that makes sense. Okay. CV says people using Instagram videos to monitor people like trolls and bots, for sure, right? And Dr. Strange, I agree. He says evil will only affect you if you allow it. That's right. So listen, if we're sick, if we're exhausted, if we're not taking great care of ourselves, sometimes that can seep in. I will tell you something I've noticed. I've been traveling a lot this summer, which was a beautiful, amazing opportunities, trips, some business, most of them business. But I came back and I was really tired. I was exhausted, even taking naps throughout the day up until like a week ago, last week. And what I realized that it was okay for me to go slow. So if any of you guys follow me on social media, you'll notice I have not been posting a lot of stories. There have been no reels. If you guys go check it out, I've been really quiet. And it's funny, I did a little video. I'll post it later tonight. Probably I will do it. And I was speaking about how sometimes just taking that time out because you need to nest or to cocoon, it's time to hibernate your heart, your soul, and take care of yourself. Doing that and you're really listening to what it is you need is going to take care of you in such a way that will breathe beautiful life force energy into you when it's time. And so what was interesting is in that video, I at the very tail end expressed the energy of, sometimes when people are silent on social media, other people think, oh my gosh, something must not be right. And I'll share it. Go follow me on Cortney Kane Sides Medium on Instagram and you'll see the video. But I shared something to the effect of like, life's been really good. It's been so beautiful. My relationship, my children, business, but I've been really tired, and that's okay. And how sometimes when people are quiet, maybe even being excited for them because they know enough that their spirit needs that, not just assuming that something's wrong, right? Maybe they're infusing their energy with beautiful life force, energy. And my friends, that's what we need more than anything, with people who can hold space for you. What was interesting is I had a time to contact a friend who is living in Mexico. Love her. I've known her for 25 years. She is a dear sister to me. And what was interesting is she said, "Oh my, are you good? Is everything okay?" I was just catching her up with life. It had been a couple months since we had chatted. And I'm telling her, and she said, "Good." She said, "You've been so quiet. I was afraid something was wrong." And I said, "Wow, that's so funny that you're saying that." I said, "I literally just did a video. I haven't even posted it yet, but I literally just did a video about how good things were, but how sometimes when we're not showing up, the voyeurs," everybody take a breath with me. I say the word and I can feel it in my chest. Believe that they're winning. Take another breath, my friend. Let's hear that again. Sometimes when we're not posting what some think is like the highlight reel, my friend, if you think what I'm posting on social media is a highlight reel, you should see how beautiful our lives and our energy is. It's so much better. The heart is so good. And I want you to understand that sometimes it's okay for you to keep things for you, right? I have so many videos and content on my phone. I could hand it to somebody and say, "Here, will you go do this for me?" And the going slow is sometimes what your heart needs. So to swing back to the monitoring spirit, and the friend that reached out to me was beautiful. She's there in the good times. She's there in the hard and the bad times. She's there with it all. So that was a beautiful touch-in. But those that want to reach out when they assume things are crumbling for you, listen, some of that might be good if those people are equally there for you for your wins. So I say that to say this. Take a breath in. Big exhale. Is sometimes it's important for you to keep those beautiful goals to yourself. Write them down and hold space for them. Be excited and feel them. And you rejoice today and the future you when these things are showering you, and not always monetary things, but just good life is showering you and falling upon you. That's good energy. T. Kim says, "What if they are only there for the fun times? If they're lighthearted and they're great and you're okay with that, then fine. But if they're vying for your downfall and you can feel it," my friends, give me an emoji if you guys understand. You can feel it when you share when you're with somebody and you're like, is this good? Is this good? I'll give you an example. And I love this person, and we were very close for, half my life. And what I realized was that when beautiful things were happening for them, and I was like, what? Oh my gosh, so genuinely excited and for them. When I would ask, they would keep those things separate and for themselves. They would never wanted to share because they always wanted the, what do you call it? Somebody's going to tell me, like attorneys use them, scales. They wanted the scales to be off, but they wanted to always be the stronger or what. When life is lifing at the same rate or the same goodness, they can't take it. It's odd. And so when you're noticing that, I'm not saying cut people off immediately. Take a breath in, exhale it out, witness it, maybe pray about it, meditate on it, take a breath in, let time show you, and just watch. What I was noticing was this person would watch my stories, but they would never comment on any of my business stuff. And this person is a fellow business owner, and I would love and like all their stuff, but they would never support mine. It was interesting, but would say so to my face, but all of the energy was different. I'm curious if you guys find that. Look at how many people are saying, and somebody, Consuela says, I say immediately, right? Thank you for the donation tonight. Listen, I'm going to do this once for you, my friend. Take a breath in. Big exhale. I keep hearing close the door. So it feels like there's a door that needs to be shut, but that does feel like relationship. It might even be romantic relationship, but it feels like an energy that keeps coming back and forth, and it feels as though it's time to shut the door. That's the energy I'm getting for you. But I feel excited about the door shutting because it feels like it's going to help you become more expansive. So listen, thank you, Bino. I appreciate you. I'm not going to take other questions tonight. We will do this, let's say next week. Let's do questions next week. So if you guys are wanting to connect to your guides and angels and have lots of questions, I want you to get those ready for me, okay? And if you're on that VIP inner circle, you already know that if you put your question there, then I will answer those first. So there's a little tip for you, okay? Dr. Strange says, I never use emojis, but I will for Courtney. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Enrica says, yes, multiple people. Warrior says, I cleaned house, reset, analyzed, then loved with caution. We can love people. Take a breath in and know that it's time to let them go. Let me say it again. We can love people and even mourn relationships, but know when it's time to let them go, when they're siphoning off of our energy. And so those people, by the way, they will constantly ask you again about that business, but very often will tell you very little about their own. They will push on your personal life, your family, your friends, your ideas. They'll just constantly just be checking in with you, but energetically not be really holding space. And as soon as you feel it, as soon as you know it, it's time to let them go. And like our friend earlier said, immediately. Once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. And there was a knowing that now was the time and a morning that was happening. And even in conversation, I even reached out and even vocalized in love and care. I wanted to have conversations, but that person can't have conversations. You'll find that they won't be able to communicate with you about any of it. And maybe that's maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Consuela says, it was almost like someone I was with was my opponent than my supporter. Energy didn't match for sure. Yes, it feels like a frenemy. It feels like a frenemy. So when they don't know what's also going on in your life, they don't know what to attack. That is, again, why we keep our moves quiet. You know, when we have all of these amazing opportunities and excitements and things, and we're so excited, we just want to tell somebody. Find somebody doing big things to tell because they're genuinely like, yeah, they can be and are your biggest fan. T. Kim says, move in silence. Kia, thank you. You're amazing. I appreciate you. What goes around comes around. And like energy finds like energy, you know? Ooh, Consuela also says, some like you to do good, but not better than them. That's right. Ooh, 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 ooh. No frenemies around here. They're also in competition. And honestly, they don't really like us. That's really what the thing is. Yeah, they don't really like us. Something they do, listen, I made notes on this stuff tonight, guys. They will give you bad advice disguised as good advice. Let's say it again. They will give you bad advice disguised as good advice. Listen, use your discernment, use your own knowing, your intuition. And again, when you prosper, they will ghost you. But they will be watching your every move. So they will not be liking those posts. They won't be calling to check in, but they will be watching your stories and you will see them. They are covert. So again, what do we do with that breath, friends? Because you have the power to block it energetically. Within that bubble of protection, you are pulling on your innate power of God, source, Holy Spirit, as somebody said earlier, your own knowing, your light, your discernment, that intuition of yours. When you have the power to do this, you don't have to go to somebody to do it. You don't have to book a session with myself or anybody else to do it. You have the power in yourself to be able to block it energetically and spiritually. And with that breath, you are powerful. And if it's on social media, what do we do, friends? Block. So in that one question, do you have a frenemy? Do you have a person that's coming to mind? Listen, we're not trying to break up relationships here, but I want you to just be mindful. That's all. I want you to be thoughtful and mindful of where you're participating, whom you're sharing those big goals and dreams with. And if they cannot hold space, then let's share after we've arrived to the destination. Let's share after we have arrived to the destination. And let the life and the life's testimony be the example. And not out of like, I'm going to show you. No, that's not it. Out of space and love and connection. And that's it. What happens is we get to then connect back to the beautiful energy we're infusing in our moments, breath by breath. Consuela says, I never move in silence. When something great is going on with me, I want everyone to see that nothing meant for me can be stopped. Well, I love that, Consuela. And I want you to know, like you know, that you need to continue to stay in that space. I want to say that I am very vocal for those today. I think I used to be like that, Consuela. And I love that about you. So you keep that. I think I used to be more like that. But what I started to realize was that those other energies were becoming more prominent. And that's when I started to not share it wasn't out of fear or scarcity. I wanted to just hold on to what was sacred until it arrived. Because what I started to notice was that the thing that was so close started to, I don't want to use the word evaporate, but it would lose steam when I shared too much of it, if that makes sense. So I want you to hold on to what you know to be true, my friend, and anybody else. Watch those differences within you and see how that feels, right? Noana says, totally understand. Another thing, people who like you the least will watch you the most. I say that now, I'm like, no, I don't know that that's true, right? But some say that. How do you feel about it? Alicia says, I don't share anything. LMAO, not to family, not to friends. I only talk to God. I think that we all get to use our discernment. And I let my life scream it out loud, if you will. I had something, I think I shared this a couple weeks ago. I'll share it one more time. I had somebody mention it was a client. They were actually here having a private session. And right after when she got here, she said, oh my gosh, everything looks so great. Talking about my relationship with my fiance, Ethan. And oh my gosh, everything looks so beautiful. And she said, well, I mean, it does on social media. But she paused and said that. And as soon as she said it, I was like, oh no. I mean, social media, sure, we post, we do all that, but oh no, my highlight reel is my life. My friends, my intention for you, my intention is for your life to be your highlight reel, and you get to experience it, and you get to decide on where you blast it. You get to decide where to blast it. Dr. Strange says it sounds narcissistic, but I don't know anyone who doesn't like me. I probably would have said the same thing, Dr. Strange. I don't think that sounds narcissistic at all. I think when you have a good heart, you have a good heart. But I will say my neighbor doesn't care for me, but it's because, I don't know, that's her thing. And I want to love her and send her that. But, sometimes you got to put boundaries up. And that's the way it is, right? All right, my friends, guys, I appreciate you. I'm going to jump off here. We are in Oklahoma, and there are tornado watches and warnings and all the things. So I'm going to go sit in there with my sweet little girl, make sure she feels connected tonight. And chill out and enjoy some of the riches, right? The riches of the heart, the riches of the soul, and of the spirit. Do me a favor. I'll be here next Wednesday with you. But until then, please go subscribe to Cortney or Cosmically Connected with Cortney Kane Sides here on YouTube. It would mean the world to me. And then also go check out Instagram. I'll go post those videos earlier that I did. I'll go post it there. Go check it out. It was very interesting. It was on my heart and my spirit. So guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. And for those of you, if this was your first time, thanks for being here. We're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Hit that smash button, hit that like, comment if you will, and share this. We want connection to be made. And I appreciate you guys helping and being such a beautiful, intricate part of it. And so many of you all, I so appreciate you guys. I'm telling you, are my family. I love you all. There's so many of you, and you know who you are. You're here every week, and it means the world. Thank you so much, guys. And watch out for the frenemies. Be good to your spirit. Protect your energy. Bubble up. And don't be afraid to block them. I love you guys. I'll see you later.